Fable 5 is the first model I feel comfortable in handing my entire design process to. Every website that you see has been built with Fable 5 in one shot. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact prompt formula that I use, that's backed by prompting techniques used by Anthropic engineers, and show you how you can tailor it to literally any website that you wish to build without spending millions of tokens. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Michael, and over the past 2 years, I've consulted and built solutions for 6 to 11 figure businesses. And now I'm showing everything that I've learned so that you don't have to figure it out the hard way. So here is the first website that I've got, and it's supposed to show the history of ancient Rome in kind of interactive way with different maps, animated battles, and also different 3D elements. So let's take a look how it looks. So if I scroll down here, right away you can see the timelines, and if I keep scrolling, just gonna move through the timeline like this. And if I keep scrolling down, I've got this map right here, and I can see the history in different times. So if I click on this, the map is gonna change. And I think if I go to march through a timeline, I think that would just start from the beginning, yeah, and then go through the timeline. So we can see how ancient Rome has evolved over time. It's super cool. And if I keep scrolling down, so this is the animated battle. That's pretty impressive. I can see how exactly how the battle played out. And I've got the little timeline here that I can move around. So let's keep scrolling. And this is where the 3D is. And I think, yeah, I can just move around it like that. Wow, look at that. It's not up to the quality. I think there's this little weird cut, but still. And there's a second one here. It's Colosseum, maybe. And I can move around this as well. I really wish I had something like this as a kid. I mean, come on. How cool is that? So here is the second one, and this one's going to be like a digital art experience where we have 3D universe that we can interact with, and it's going to show in particles as well. So I'm really looking forward to this one. So click on enter, and right away we've got this 3D kind of particle universe style thing, and I think I've got option to click different buttons. Oh, did you hear that? I just had to switch the sound off because I'm not sure how loud that is, but if I click on space, it just does this. Boom. So let's keep scrolling. Let's see what else is on there. I've got different sections here, and that's pretty much the same. So I can click on it to kind of spread it out like this. And yeah, the same thing works here. So I can press space and it'll just explode like this. And those are going to be the same, I think. I don't like how the text is laid out here, but that's like a tiny adjustment, so I wouldn't worry about stuff like this. Yeah, so that looks like it's the end. So if I click on replay, it'll just take me right to the top. I've got example number 3. This one is a little bit more down to earth. So what I've got is a landing page for a freelance marketer who offers their services to B2B SaaS companies. So I've got a nice little picture here with a heading. If I scroll down, I've got nice little animated elements here. So we've got a about us section, I think. And if I keep scrolling down, we've got animated charts that show different data. And keep scrolling down. That is animated as well. I love it. We've got kind of a explanation here if I hover over any of those. And we've even got a video as well. Take a look at that. Almost accurate, but not quite. But still, you know, one shot. Let's scroll down. We've got different quotes. I can click on them and it will also show what they mean. So yeah, really, really high quality. And I can even see how I could use some of the elements of this from this website myself. And this is the last one. So it's a kind of a landing page for a fictional Formula One driver. If I scroll down, we've got the little about us section again with different information and some career numbers as well. I love how interactive that is. So if I hover over any of those, it'll just show the line at the top and keep scrolling down. We've got the timeline. So again, if I scroll, it will just move to the left. And this one is lap decoder. So I believe, yeah, it's gonna show the throttle and the brake and also whatever that is. I don't know. So awesome. And if I scroll down, this is where we've got a nice little video of how it looks like from the point of view of the driver, or at least from the camera that's above him. Super cool. And by the way, if you want to replicate any of those sites, I'll give you a markdown file that you can import into Claude that will replicate this exact site for you. But when it comes to the exact prompt that I've used, so that's what it looks like. And again, I'll give you a link to this document below the video so that you can access it and use it yourself. And basically all you do is you replace the stop bot with whatever your idea for a website is. And I've even got an example of how you should structure it. So the idea here is that we tell the model what the end result is going to be and not how we want to get there. because the how part is what Fable is good at figuring out. So this is why we deliberately leave that out. And then we explain the end results. So we're building a website for a freelance marketer targeting B2B SaaS founders, and we've got a little bit of a what the goal is for the build, right? And then all of this is basically going to instruct Fable to choose its own approach and just go crazy with the design. Because when it comes to choosing different colors, different layouts, elements, Fable's already good at that. So the idea here is that we don't want to get in the model's way, because at least for me, I find that it's able to come up with better ideas for the design. So why would I get in its way, right? And if we dive a little bit deeper into the prompt itself, I did specify the different sites that the model can browse. So something like Dribble or Words. This is where the model can access different elements that I can use for inspiration for different sections of the website. And also this paragraph here is probably the one that you're going to want to customize to whatever you're using. This is where we instruct the model what it should use to generate the assets, so the images, videos, 3D elements. And for that, I use Replicate, but you'll see a lot of YouTubers telling you to sign into Hexfield and use that instead, which is absolutely fine if you're producing websites and assets on a regular basis. Then it absolutely makes sense to go on something like Hexfield, because it's actually more cost effective if you're producing those assets at a scale, right? But for any of you that don't create those kind of websites on a regular basis, I would actually recommend going with something like Replicate, because this is where you can have access to the same models but on a pay-as-you-go basis. I think it's a little bit more expensive, but again, if creating a website is kind of a one-off task for you, then this is what you should go with. So if you want to go with Replicate just like me, all you do is you give Claude your API key and then it sets up everything else for you. But with Hexfield, they actually have an MCP. So if you go to Claude, right at the bottom, we've got this little plus option here, and then you can select connectors and manage connectors. And this is where you actually go ahead and set up a Hexfield MCP if you want to use that. But otherwise, you're good with just using Replicate. And I even specified the models that I want to use here. So I want to use Nano Banana for images and then Seedance for videos, because those are the models I found to give me the best quality results overall, given the price. So that's what I specified here. And again, if you have different ones, you're welcome to just change them right here or just remove the sentence altogether. That's completely fine. And then the last crucial part of this prompt is the fact that I ask model to critically review its work at least 3 times before it passes the work back to me. And the reason why is we want to catch any errors as early as possible before Claude passes the website back to us. And so before I said I'll give you access to the exact prompt or the guide that Claude used to create websites like this, and this is what the prompt.md is. So I asked Claude to create this file that will contain a set of instructions and prompts that somebody else can just paste into Claude Code so that it produces the website that looks similar, right? So that's what I'm going to give you access to. And yeah, this is the prompt. And by the way, if you want to find out more about different techniques for prompting Fable and any other Anthropic model, you should head over to this website here. So it's platform.claude.com. I'll give you access to it as well. So this is where you can find the guide put together by Anthropic engineers on how to prompt Fable 5 and even Mythos 5 if you are lucky enough to have access to it. You can use those same exact tips to prompt that as well. And you can find information about prompting Opus 4.8, Sonnet 5, and other models as well. So you should check that out. But all of this was just a one website prompt. So you input your idea, and then Fable produces a single website for you. But what if you want to create multiple iterations or even different websites at the same time? So what you do is you use this prompt here. So it's for multiple websites and it's structured in a very similar way, except at every stage I specify that for each of the ideas above, do this and do that. So as you can see, this is where you can input pretty much as many ideas as you wish, and it works in exactly the same way. And right at the end, it's going to give you different links to local hosts so that you can access your websites before pushing for deployment. So I actually used Claude desktop app to build all of those websites for me. And by the way, if you don't have this app, you can download it by going to Claude app and then downloading the app from Anthropic website. And the reason why I've decided to use it instead of something like VS Code, for example, is because it's a lot easier for Claude to verify its own work through the app, because it can open the website on the right-hand side and then take screenshots, go back and forth with different sub-agents, and then it can verify the work that way. Whereas if I were to use something like VS Code or the extension within VS Code, I'd have to have the Chrome DevTools installed. But if you want to go down this route, you just Google Chrome DevTools and then you set them up that way. So in terms of the effort itself, I've got this set to extra because this is what I found to be a sweet spot between Claude not spending too many tokens and actually producing the quality of output that I want. You can experiment with it. You can switch it to hard and medium even if you wish. That way you spend obviously less tokens, but the output might be slightly different than what you would get on extra. So if you're confident with what you want to build, then I would say go with extra. So as I said before, the only thing that you should really change in this prompt is this top board right here. I've got the example of how you should structure the request itself. And right at the end, you will get access to a localhost link, which obviously can only be accessed by you. So if you want to get this website, any of the websites that I built live, you use something like Netlify or Vercel to get them deployed. And literally all you do is super simple. All you do is you create an account and then you tell Claude to deploy it either on Netlify or Vercel, and it will just do everything else for you. You might need to set up GitHub as well as a kind of middle point between the two, but it's super simple. Claude can literally guide you through how to do it as well. So this is it for today's video. If you have any more ideas for the stuff that I can build with Fable or Opus, then let me know in the comments as well. And let me know what you thought about the video. And if you liked it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.